Okay, good morning, everyone, and good afternoon, good evening in Tokyo. Thank you for joining us today's webinar, AES webinar, how to create an e-commerce store in Japan. Today's topic, the e-commerce. This is now really hot topic, not only in Japan, but also all over the world. Before COVID-19, the pandemic started, already that in Japan that this e-commerce trending has been growing and increasing rapidly. So today we will talk about this e-commerce platform in Japan and how you can sell your product in this platform. Today we are pleased to welcome our special guest, Saito-san from Rakuten. Rakuten is one of the largest e-commerce platforms in Japan, and although in Estonia Rakuten is not still available, but in Japan it's really popular and everybody knows it. And then the other guest, Sophia-san, she's from iOrder. iOrder is a company that provide e-commerce setup. So if you are in Estonia, you can create a Rakuten e-commerce store with their service. And then iOrder is one of certified Rakuten service providers. So it's really good company. And then she can explain about that as well. So before moving that, I'd like to show today's agenda. Usually, I will speak about the general market information, but today, due to the time difference between Japan and Estonia, I will ask Rakuten and iOrder speak first. After that, I'll generally explain about overview of e-commerce market in Japan. Okay, and then before moving to the Saito-san's presentation, I would like to explain today why we are talking about this. So when an Estonian company, if you want to sell your product to Japan, there's several ways. One, you can sell your product on your e-commerce store. Some Japanese customer, they find you through the internet, and then they order from Japan. And then you ship your product to Japan. But this doesn't happen so often as I can imagine. And then second, if you can open your store in Japan, open your office in Japan and hire a salesperson, marketing person, of course you can sell a lot. But this one, it will cost a lot. And then it also there's a lot of risk. And then most of the Estonian companies will find the best solution is that finding the distributor. Like on this slide, if you find a distributor, then distributor will take care of the your product sales in Japan. The distributor will sell your product in the shop or in e-commerce market. So as many of you that you don't have so much resource to hire someone, especially in Japan, then a distributor, they will help you to grow your business in Japan. The problem is that how to find a distributor. I think this is the most difficult part for your business. Many of you have visited Japan already. Maybe some of you may participate in the trade show. It's not easy to find a distributor. The reason is that for the distributor, you are one of the exporter who ask them to sell. And for distributor, there are a lot of the companies like you asking to make a partnership with them. And then if your product is not known in Japan, and then if you don't have any proven track record in Japan, for the distributor, it is really high risk because they have to invest a lot from the marketing and then the sales. So for them, it's easier to take some companies or some product which are already known in Japan. But this is a chicken and eggs. So to have proven record, you need distributor or importer. And then for the distributor or importer, they need already sales record from you. So it's really challenging in this part. Then today's topic, that the e-commerce. So there's a service providers for the Rakuten and Amazon. Those service providers will support you to create the e-shop in the Rakuten or Amazon platform. And then they will also find the importer or logistics provider for you. So in this way, you can create your own shop in the e-commerce store, then sell to the customers. And I just want to also emphasize that this is not the goal. For some companies, maybe in this business model, maybe it makes sense and then you can make profit. And then as long as you're happy, it's okay. But of course, these service providers, they charge quite decent amount of the fee. And then I recommend you to find the distributor later on. Once you're successful in the e-commerce platform, you already can show that this product is well known in Japan, and then it makes much easier to find the distributor, or it's make it easier with the negotiation with distributor. So today, Rakuten, the Saito-san will talk about the e-commerce platform and in the e-shop Rakuten, and then Sophia-san will explain about this service provider part, what you can do and then what you have to do. Okay, and then now Saito-san will talk about the Rakuten e-commerce platform. Okay.
Okay.
And then Saito-san, and thank you for joining today. And then I really appreciate your support. And then
Thank
now please explain about the Rakuten. And then the floor is yours.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah. So let me share my screen. Okay. Okay. Are you seeing the screen? Okay. Yeah. Perfect. Yeah. So before I start my presentation, first of all, good morning, everyone. Thank you for attending. And I'm Rio from Rakuten. I'm in charge of mainly supporting the overseas merchants to sell on Rakuten Ichiba, the number marketplace in Japan. And today, my main presentation will be about, first of all, what Rakuten is, what is so special, and how we are trying to help the overseas merchants to sell within Japan. So let me start with my presentation. First of all, about explaining about the Rakuten company itself. So we are mainly an IT company. We were founded in 1997 by only 2 people. And our main business was first this marketplace business. So first we had only 30 merchants, but I will explain you later on. But currently we have more than 50,000 merchants selling on Rakuten Ichiba. And we have really grown in this past about 20 years. Our global annual GTV was roughly around 173 billion US dollars. And we have this membership program. And in the global membership program, we have about 1.4 billion members worldwide who are using our Rakuten services. I will explain on to later slides, but we have a unique membership program, and we also offer more than 70 different services. And the special thing about our company is that we also really invest in sports industries to have our branding stronger in worldwide. And these are some of the examples of the what kind of partnerships we have in terms of sports industries. So first of all, the above, we actually own a baseball team and a football team in Japan. And as you may know, but we have a partnership with this really famous football team in Spain called FC Barcelona. And we also have this partnership with the famous basketball team in US, California, called Golden State Warriors. So we really invest in these sports to have our brand awareness strong in each countries. And as I mentioned, one special thing about our business model is that we have this Rakuten membership program. And this we call this the Rakuten ecosystem. But if you have one Rakuten membership program, you subscribe for it, then you can use all of the 70 services seamlessly with only one Rakuten unique ID. And right now, about more than 80% of the Japanese population has Rakuten membership program. And this Rakuten membership program is really helping our Rakuten services to achieve the market leading positions. So some of the Rakuten services we have is, of course, one main thing is this e-commerce business, the Rakuten Ichiba. But we also have a credit card company called Rakuten Card. We also have this travel booking site called Rakuten Travel. We also have an online payment system called Rakuten Pay. We have an online banking system called Rakuten Bank. And lastly, we have online broking service called Rakuten Securities. So these are only 6 services out of the 70 services I just introduced to you. But you can see that we really have the most of them are leading positions in Japan currently right now. And our Rakuten membership is really offering many services that most of the memberships are really using these Rakuten services to have their daily lives. And what's so special about this membership program is that we have this special point system called the Rakuten Super Point system. So if you are a Rakuten member and you use our services, you can earn 1% back in points for the amount you used within our services. So for example, if you buy something, let's say for 100 JP, for $1, for example, then you can earn 1 cent in points. And these points that you earned can be used as extra currency on our services as well. So basically, the Rakuten members can earn points and also use those points with our services. And one interesting thing about this point is that in Japan, on the left side of the slide, but in Japan, the point market is really big in Japan. There's about 2.2 billion US dollar market in Japan currently, and we have about 70% of the point market share. And as I mentioned, but we have many services that these points can be used. And we also have more than 70,000 offline services, offline places, stores that these Rakuten points can be used. So the famous things can be McDonald's. So we have a special partnership with these offline stores as well. So basically these points can be used online and also offline as well. And one more interesting thing about this point system is that usually when the Rakuten members use our services, they can earn 1% back in points. But since we have many different services we have this special program called the Rakuten Super Point Up program. And this program is that if the Rakuten members use other services as well, depending on what service they use, they get additional points. So in general, users can earn 1% back in points. And let's say if they purchase an item using Rakuten credit card, they can earn additional 2% in points. Or if they buy through our Rakuten mobile app, then they can earn additional 2%. So these points add up to a total of 16%. So if, as an example, if the Rakuten members use all the services listed here, then they can earn 16% back in points for what they shop. And 1% is paid by the merchants who are on Rakuten, but the other 15 points, this is paid by us ourselves. So we are really investing to gather many customers within Japan to buy on Rakuten Ichiba. And let me explain about what Rakuten Ichiba is that I was mentioning in this presentation. But Rakuten Ichiba, other name is Rakuten Marketplace in Japan. It's an e-commerce, we are a pure marketplace. Our annual transaction is about 35 billion US dollars last year. And the number of stores, the latest number is actually over 50,000 stores. Stores meaning there are 50,000 companies who are selling on Rakuten. And we have about over 103 million users currently in Japan. And we have currently #1 market share, which is about 27% in Japan. And if you look at each categories, we actually have #1 in most of the categories. We have 35% in food, we have 40% in household goods, we have 35% in apparel, and 28% in beauties. And you can see that in Japan, there are mainly three marketplace companies. One is Rakuten, second is Amazon, and third is Yahoo. And about these three companies have about 60% of the entire e-commerce market share in Japan. And we currently lead in most of the categories. And from the next slides, let me explain about what is Rakuten different from other marketplaces. And this time, I would like to compare with Amazon, because I think most of the people know what Amazon is. So if I show it in a really brief image, this is the difference. So Amazon is more kind of like a product-centric marketplace, but Rakuten is more of like a shop-centric. So shop-centric meaning that we let the companies, we let the brands actually make their own shop, and they can actually make their own rules in selling those products. For example, the merchants can decide their own shipping rules, return policies, they can decide the product prices and how to show the products. Below, I brought some examples of the product pages. Left side is Amazon. On the right side, this is Rakuten. These are all same items. So you can see that for Amazon, I personally think Amazon is really like a nice, simple page. And so if you have like really like low prices, then maybe it is easier for you to sell on Amazon. But if you look at Rakuten, you can actually make a really detailed page. And actually, what iOrder will explain later on, but iOrder is mainly like good at making these details pages. But we actually let iOrder or other companies as well to make these kinds of pages with field details so that the brands can actually share their own brand image, make an appeal of the product by themselves. This is another example. So these are the same merchants selling on Amazon and Rakuten. This is the search results on Amazon. But this is on the right. This is showing the Rakuten storefront page of that merchant. So you can see there's much more information on Rakuten so that the merchants can differentiate with other stores. I brought another example as well. So this is one example of a Rakuten, of a brand store on Rakuten Ichiba. So on the left, this is a storefront. And if you click one banner, this leads to the product page. And you can see that this is showing a garbage can, but the actual merchant is not only showing like one picture, but they're showing how to use, how it is in the customer's daily lives. What is the image when the customers use these products? So in this way, the customers can have more knowledge of the products and they can actually have an image in their heads, how to use the products. So this leads to more high conversion when the customers wants to buy the products. And on Rakuten, we mainly have three supports for the merchants. So one on the very left, this is when onboarding. We have this merchant development manager where they will share you information about the overview of the e-commerce business in Japan and also about the cross-border trading to Japan. And they will support for onboarding procedure on Rakuten. And when the merchants on board, we have this shop open consultant who is going to help you to kind of like lead you to make the pages and also, of course, work with iOrder to set up the pages within Rakuten. And when you go live, when you start selling the products, there will be this account manager called the e-commerce consultant where they will give you the performance feedback and improvement of how to sell your products and also give you marketing strategies and also way to promote within Rakuten. So this is an example of a Rakuten sale events. So I would like you to explain you that we have our original sale events and the main event is called this Rakuten Super Sale. We have this in every 3 months. So we have it in March, June, September, and December. And you can see the sales trend that the sales trend has a high spike in these every 3 months. So what's so special about Rakuten Super Sale is that this is, first of all, our own event. So, and when we have this event, we have many promotions and advertisements within everywhere in Japan. We have advertisements within the subway trains. We have it on TV commercials. And we really invest a lot to gather all the shoppers within Japan to come and buy on Rakuten platform. And of course, we also have other seasonal events. And we also have some seasonal events that it's special dedicated in Japan, not so common in other foreign countries. So that's why the e-commerce consultant is there for you to give you information about special events especially in Japan as well. And this is really just an example, but these are some of the international brands using the Rakuten services currently. So you can see that maybe some brands are that you're not aware of, but of course we have many famous brands who are using Rakuten to actually promote within Japan, like Puma, or recently had Nike open the store on Rakuten Ichiba as well. So and especially during this COVID-19, we are getting really many inquiries from these really famous brands to sell on Rakuten. So I really like to emphasize that Rakuten is chosen by many famous brands as well for one promotion strategy within Japan. And lastly, I would like you to share one interesting data that I have about this cross-border EC to Japan. So this graph on the left is showing the ratio of the cross-border easy purchaser by country. So we have the percentage showing here, having different colors. So red is showing the shoppers, ratio of the shoppers who only shop only in domestic e-commerce. So for example, if it's Chinese, then in China, about 58% only shop within the Chinese websites. And this pink shows the cross-border plus domestic. So the pink users are the people who will shop on domestic websites, as well as they sometimes do cross-border from other countries. And this yellow part shows the shoppers that who use only cross-border. So you can see that this is the combination of the red and this pink shows the people who use domestic e-commerce websites. Having this information, if you look at each country, for China, 58% of the people shop online within the China websites. And also there are 35% of the people who use domestic websites as well as cross-border. For the US, there are about, in total, about roughly 80 to 90% who use domestic websites. And for Japan, about 99% of the Japanese users use mainly domestic websites. So this is showing that not so many Japanese people actually do cross-border, so actually buy from other foreign websites. And there are several reasons for this. But first of all, it's about the language barrier. So most of the Japanese people cannot speak English. So basically, they cannot buy from the overseas English websites. And the second thing is that since recently e-commerce is getting really, really popular, so many companies, including the overseas brands, are actually already start selling within Japan. So there's many products can be bought within Japan in these days. So there's no need to do cross-border for the Japanese consumers. So I wanted to show you this because, so this is the customer's characteristic. So in order to really reach out to the Japanese consumers in Japan who do e-commerce, the best way is to have your own shop in the local marketplaces to reach out to the Japanese consumers directly. So I would like to propose that one solution is to open a store within our Rakuten platform, which is the #1 marketplace in Japan, and start selling on Japan and have the opportunity for the Japanese customers to buy your products online within the Rakuten Ichiba platform. Yes, so I think that's it for my presentation. So yeah, that's it for me. So I think we have question time as well, I think. So if you have any questions, please feel free to ask.
Thank you, Saito-san, for the nice presentation. And it's really amazing that how big Rakuten is actually. For Japanese, sometimes I forget that. But for those Estonian, sorry, that for the participant, if you have any question, please write in the Q&A function, and I can read and ask the Saito-san. And I just want to explain about Rakuten more simply to the Estonian people. Like in Estonia, I don't know if you have, but we don't have the e-commerce platform like Rakuten or like Amazon. We don't have Amazon here in Estonia.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so what Rakuten is that even you saw that they do the bank and they do the financial services, travel services. Just imagine that all the online shopping or online services that you do in Estonia, everything like a bank, Euronics, or like Sportsland, everything in Rakuten platform, you can do it. Just imagine. And then each time you shop in those stores, you can get the point, and then the point you can use in the actual store as a currency, as a like real money. So this is what Rakuten do. Then I wanted to ask Saito-san that some question, but yeah, like I found that the Rakuten is strong in that there's most of the categories beside the book and the electronics product, right?
Okay.
Yeah, but actually this is good because in Estonia that today's participant, there's no bookseller or publishers or the electronics producers. The many like they are like food industries and also like some general groceries. Okay, okay. So I got one question. What is approximate cost for a small producer of beer for complete start business on your platform?
Okay, so I think I assume what are the costs to start selling on Rakuten? So we actually have uh, in this case, I think maybe I already has in the presentation as well, but there are mainly two kind of costs. So one is opening a shop on Rakuten, which is approximately about $200 US a month for FX fee. And also we have this initial fee of 600 US dollars. And lastly, we have a sales margin to the sales, which is about 10%. So for Rakuten, we mainly have these three kinds of fee structure: initial payment, monthly fee, and the sales margin. And if you're going to use iOrder, there's going to be additional cost for using iOrder, I think, which will be in the next presentation.
Yeah, I will explain a little bit later.
So, and what are the language options for Rakuten e-commerce platform? Is it possible to use in English?
Yes. So we offer actually only in Japanese for the systems. And this is because that when selling to Japan, you have to really localize your branding and products for the explanations as well. And Japanese people are really, how do you say it, like really, they care about how the wording is. So for example, if the Japanese is translated automatically using, like, for example, Google Translate, and if it's a little bit weird, then the Japanese consumers tend to realize that it is a weird Japanese. So using appropriate, correct Japanese and also having this Japanese knowledge is really important. And that's why we have service partners like iOrder, and we have a partnership with them. And to have overseas merchants have an opportunity to sell on Rakuten, even though if they don't have any knowledge about Japanese. So this is one really special thing about this cross-border scheme that we offer with iOrder.
Thank you. And I got also like additional question from some other participant. In Rakuten, do you support this overseas producer to import to Japan? I mean, this importing process, do you support?
I see. To be honest, we don't support this importing process. Since we are a pure marketplace, we can't be the importer, and we usually have the brands find importers by themselves. But we can actually, how do you say it, like introduce organizations that might have contact to those importing companies, just to give you an option of from where to start.
And then in the setting in Rakuten, is there any restriction about the labeling that of the product?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a really important question. So about the labeling, since it's going to be a personal import scheme, um, you don't have to change your labeling into Japanese. You can have your label as it is when you sell on Rakuten. So when the Japanese consumers buy from overseas merchants using the Rakuten platform, this is still personal import. So as long as the customers are buying the products for their own personal usage, it's going to be a personal import. And when it comes to personal import, since this is not a B2B business import, the regulation is much more like easier, not that strict. So in terms of the labeling, you don't have to have a Japanese labeling to sell to the Japanese consumers. Yeah.
That's very interesting.
Yes, this is interesting part. Yeah.
So for the Estonian producers, they don't have to change labels as long as the product to sold to the consumers in Japan.
Yes, correct. Yeah.
And sorry, there's also two more questions that from the participant. Do you have a warehouse, or the Rakuten has some that your own store that you sell by yourself?
Yes, we actually have, first of all, fulfillment service, which is kind of like Amazon FBA within Japan. We call this the Rakuten Super Logistics. And we currently offer this mainly to domestic merchants, but we have this warehouse to keep the stocks of the domestic merchants, and we do the pick and pack and ship the products as well. And we also have some services like, for example, Rakuten Books, or where we actually sell the products by ourselves. But we mainly keep the marketplaces to the brand itself for them to have more chance and exposure of selling within Japan.
I see. And then also one more question. So the customer support, if the consumer buys something and if they have a problem, where do they call? Do they call the Rakuten customer support or the stores? Or
yeah, they actually have two. There's something called to the Rakuten like call center, or mainly they call to the Rakuten stores. So well, usually the merchants are in charge of handling these inquiries from the customers. But I would like you to just explain that also iOrder can do the customer support as well. So usually when the merchants open a shop through iOrder, then iOrder will be the first touch point with the consumers to deal with the inquiries.
Okay, thank you. And this is from my question, that from my side. That, in the Rakuten platform, are there many foreign products? Do you know the ratio that how many foreign products on the Rakuten market?
Yeah, actually, how do you say it? I really don't have the actual number, but currently, there are about a few hundred stores who are selling on Rakuten. I mean, few hundred companies who are selling on Rakuten, who are shipping from outside of Japan, meaning doing cross-border. And our service started in 2015. So we are actually like really still a really young like department. So we are recently really growing tremendously and increasing the number of merchants selling on Rakuten as well. So that's why we have this, for example, like partnership with iOrder to have more, expand more opportunities to foreign countries, merchants to sell on Rakuten, even though if they don't have any like Japanese knowledge.
Okay, thank you very much. And if I don't see any more questions at the moment, but Estonians are usually very shy and they don't ask questions right away. But yeah, for the participant, if you have any question, please let us know later after this presentation. Okay, thank you, Saito-san. Now I will put you in the attendees. Okay.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Thank you. Now, Sophia-san.
Yep.
Okay, that like Saito-san mentioned a lot that Sophia-san is from the iOrder, who is service provider of Rakuten. So Sophia-san, the floor is yours.
Yeah. First of all, thank you everyone for participating today. Hi everyone, I'm Sophia from iOrder company. We are third-party service providers in Japan. So today I would like to explain more about our company, our services, what exactly we do, and how we can help you to expand your business to Japan EC market. Let me share my screen. Can you see it? Can you see my screen? Yeah. Everything works? Okay, yeah. Good. So yeah, today I would like to start with introduction of our company and explain about EC platforms that we support in Japan, touch upon our services and fees, business flow timeline, and at the very end I will show you some stores of the clients that we currently work with. So Japan iOrder story. Our company was established 19 years ago, and we are one of the longest running EC service and support providers in Japan. Our headquarters is located in Yokohama City in Japan, and we have branches in Okinawa, Taiwan, Philippines, and Hawaii. So what is the purpose of our company? First of all, in Japan, it's pretty hard for overseas brands to sell on marketplaces because they don't have any Japanese entity. And the only path that overseas brands can take is to open their stores through our company, which will act as your merchant of record. So we will sign up contract with Rakuten Marketplace or with Amazon Japan or Yahoo Shopping on behalf of you, then set up your store and then manage it after your store goes live. As for the business history, we were selected as Rakuten Marketplace official service provider, and our main area of expertise has been in supporting brands in their entry into Japanese EC platforms. Then we create localized brand stores and support with the management of your stores. We have successful business links with other EC sites in Japan. I have mentioned Amazon Japan, Yahoo Japan, Rakuten Marketplace, and any other EC platform. So for now, we've supported about 12,000 Japanese companies. And 4 years ago, we started to work with overseas brands to help them expand their business to Japanese platforms. And we have about 30 overseas companies that we help to set their stores on Rakuten and Amazon. And then 30 companies that we currently manage and work with. So the next would be the difference between Rakuten, Amazon, Yahoo Shopping. And then I would like to tell more about marketplace fees and commissions because we had this question too. I think it will be a little bit interesting for you just to know. So what is the difference between top 3 EC platforms in Japan? Just like Saito-san mentioned, the difference is in gender ratio and in the amount of users that we have. So since Amazon tends to have a large proportion of men, the most popular categories there are home appliances, books, toys, and computer games. Rakuten has a large proportion of women, so top 4 categories among overseas products are fashion, just food, sports, nutrition, supplements, beauty cosmetics, and home appliances. As for Yahoo, shopping, they have a slightly higher proportion of men. So customers there buy apparel, health products, beauty appliances, and computer games. So when you think about selling in Japan, we highly suggest you to just keep in mind what kind of categories are popular on each platform. Because if you have a food or skincare apparel company, then it's better to sell on Rakuten or on Yahoo. You can sell them on Amazon too, but the question is what amount of sales you will have, because most of customers, they don't buy any food or skincare or apparel on Amazon. As for the marketplace fees, so the difference is also in fees and commissions. On Rakuten, 1 year will cost you about 2,700 euro. It includes initial fee, beginner's plan, and then CSV system. This one is if you have more than 10 products, and if you want to apply more than 10 products at once, you have to use this system. So in total, it will be a little bit less than 3,000 euro. For Amazon, initial fee per year will be 520 euro. It's a professional plan. And on Yahoo Shopping, the initial fee is free of charge. As for the commission on Rakuten, it depends on amount of sales. So the commission varies between 9 to 13%. On Amazon, it depends on the category, so it's from 8 to 20%. And on Yahoo Japan, it's a little bit complicated because it depends on what kind of campaigns you're going to participate, what kind of marketing you're going to use. Yeah. And the next part will be our services. I will talk more about store creation, store management services, and then explain more about business flow and timeline. So on this slide, we have store creation services for Rakuten Marketplace and Yahoo Shopping. Since Rakuten and Yahoo are more of shop-centric marketplaces, just like my colleague from Rakuten explained, you have to work on your store design just to showcase your strengths, show what makes your company different from any other company, include your brand story page, a lot of descriptions and images, visuals. So it depends on what kind of design you choose. So here we have PC top page design, smartphone top page design, item listing. It depends on how many products you are planning to sell. Brand story, product page, and then landing page, it's optional. But if you have some bestsellers or some products that you really want to push, we suggest you to have landing page for these products, just to give more of a description, more of images and videos. And as for Amazon, store creation there is much simple. So that's why it includes only top page creation, item listing, banner design, and then account registration support. And once your store is up and running, one member from our team will be assigned to run your store. English-speaking member. We also have a customer support team here. So we will do customer support, customer inquiry, returns and exchange. We have a lot of phone calls and emails every day. So yeah, we will handle all that. We also will help you to with the payment transfer, with the order management, store maintenance, just updating your page, because it depends on the season. You have like maybe new products coming up, or you just want to refresh your store, just change banners or change the design. We also do all that. And we also help with ingredient and description checks. That is important for food categories and for skincare cosmetic brands, because before you start selling on Rakuten or on any other EC platform, it's important to have this check just to see if there are any ingredients in your products that are prohibited by the Japanese law. We also do translation services, just like my colleague from Rakuten mentioned, that if your Japanese sounds a little bit weird, then there is a high percentage that Japanese customers will not buy products from your website because, you know, because it sounds just weird for Japanese. And we also have a marketing consultation service. So once your store is live, we work together with Rakuten e-commerce consultant to promote and just work on marketing, just showcase your brand and raise awareness of your products, of your store, of your brand. So that is everything included into our monthly management service. As for the business flow, so here we have the first point will be to set up your store. And once your store is live, then the customers, Japanese customers, will purchase from Rakuten. Once an order is placed on Rakuten, we receive this data. And then we forward it to you, to your store. And your responsibility would be to drop ship products directly to the Japanese customers. So yeah, you have two options. The first one is dropship, which is a personal import. And then you have another option. It will be importing your products into Japan and stocking your products in a Japanese warehouse. So as for dropshipping, it's the easiest model because you don't have to translate any labels, you don't have to change any labels, you just send your products as it is to the customers directly. And if you want to import your products into Japan, then we will help you to find importer of record, because our company doesn't work as an importer. So we have some agencies that we can introduce to you that can help you to import your products into Japan. And then we can also introduce to you some warehouse companies that can stock your products there. So as for the timeline, it takes about a month and a half to 2 months to create your store. So first we have to sign up contract. Then you choose your plan, your design, receive quotation, and then you do the payment. After that, we start creation of your store. And in the meantime, we also work on account screening. So we will help you to open your account on Rakuten. And after your account is open, we will start with store design, store creation. So it will take about 2 months to launch your store. And as for the overseas customers, just some of the brands that we currently work with. So we have a company from the UK called MyProtein. They do sports nutrition supplements. Then Daniel Wellington company from Sweden. Weber, they do grills. They are from the US. Canadian company, Marksquest. Spain company, TAS. Then another UK protein company, Science in Sport. As for skincare, we have a range of products of brands from Australia, Cora Organics from South Korea, and from Nature and Isoi. Then company from the US, they do Manuka honey. Then another USA company is Australian brand Villeroy. They do leather bags, wallets. South Korean company Blaver. the USA company Tula, and South Korean company Jenny House Cosmetic. So that's that's all for me for my presentation. You can ask me any questions if you have. I would be very happy to answer.
Thank you, Sophia-san, for your presentation. It's really impressive. I have also some questions. In the meantime, where we are waiting for some question from the attendees. But so you can introduce the importer and the logistics company, right?
Right.
But how does it work that the payment? That can I order issue invoice for also the logistics importers part?
Yeah. So when overseas company, they want to find an importer, first of all, importer and warehouse. First of all, we will send service sheets to the company because it just depends on on the category, on the product. If it's a food company, if it's food products or like skincare, it just depends on what kind of warehouse we have to have, like in terms of like preservation conditions. And after the service sheet is completed, we start searching for those warehouses that will work best for this company. And after that, we just contact this warehouse company. We get a invoice from them, and then we just translate it into English and then send it to customer, to the merchant from Estonia, for example. Then Estonian company will transfer money to us. And then we will, after we get the payment, we will transfer the payment to the warehouse company.
So for the Estonian company, you are the one stop contact that you will deal with those logistics company and importers and so on.
Yes, right. So yeah, we will work, in the middle between Estonian company and between warehouse company in Japan.
Yeah, so that's very simple for Estonian company, that you just have to talk with you, and that's all, that you can take care of the rest, right? But
yes,
is it same for that? For example, like when the customer purchases from that Estonian company product in Rakuten store, then that in Rakuten store that this company has to how does it drop ship? So this one that the IOTA can also communicate with the warehouse, and that you can handle those shipping.
Yeah. So in terms of drop shipping, just drop shipping means that the customer, Estonian company will have to send their products from Estonian warehouse to the customer, Japanese customer, directly. So we will receive orders from customers, and then we will just send it to Estonian company. I'm sorry. Okay. And then Estonian company will have to ship their products directly to the customers.
But in case if the product is already in a Japanese warehouse, is it possible that from IOTA to control those shipping process? Yes,
right. So our customer support team, then we will work together with this warehouse company, and we will, we will contact with them directly. So Estonian customer doesn't have to do anything. So
Estonian company they can just sleep and wait. Huh? Okay.
Yeah, right.
Okay. So we have now the two questions from the attendees. Well, the one question is, do you have any experience with furniture sales in Rakuten? The furniture.
Oh, furniture company? No, not really. We don't have any furniture company.
Okay.
Overseas.
But yeah, point is that you can still find that the logistics import partners, and then IOTA can create the e-shop this design, so it's no problem to sell.
Yeah, right. Because we know, you know, the whole procedure, so it doesn't like vary. It's not different from, I don't know, skincare company or furniture company, because we know the whole process how to do that. So it doesn't really like make any difference, like a lot of difference.
Okay. The second question is that do the food product have to comply with the Japanese food law? If it then does the producer have to certify the safety of the product? Do you know?
So it depends on the category of the products. So if you do drop shipping, then you have to do only ingredient check. But if you do import, then we have to work, you know, individually with every company, because it depends on what exactly what kind of food products you have. If it's like a fish, you know, or I don't know, honey, or supplements, or like protein. So it just depends on the category. So I would just suggest you to contact directly, and then we can work individually with every company.
So I think in Japan that the importer is full responsibility for the product when it comes to Japan, right?
Yes, right. Importer of record.
Yeah. So
yeah.
In this case, that you will introduce the importer who can handle that kind of specific product.
Yes. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Like for example, like you have already worked with a honey company.
Yeah.
Manua honey. So that importers behind them, they know how to deal with honey import in Japan.
Yes, right. This U.S. company, they actually import their products into Japan. So they have importer of record and they have warehouse in Japan. So they work together with their import of record. Yeah.
Okay. So there's more questions. Do you know if there's any restriction on selling alcohol drinks on e-commerce?
Alcohol drinks. I think there are some restrictions. I'm not too much familiar about that. But I know it's also depends on how many like alcohol is included. If it's like, you know, wine or beer, or I don't know, very strong alcohol. So it just also depends on what kind of beverage, what kind of alcohol it is. But yeah, it's a little bit harder for alcohol products.
It's a little bit harder, but I think they sell in Rakuten for sure. I have seen Rakuten in Amazon, that I have seen that the alcohol beverage.
Yeah, but the question is, who sells those products? Is it distributor that already is in Japan, or is it like cross-border selling? So that's a big difference.
And then I think in the store, that the store in Rakuten, if they have a license of the alcohol selling, is no problem. But for the attendee editor, I can research more, and then I can get back to you, editor. Okay. Okay. Another question: how big should the minimum marketing budget be in order to generate sales on Rakuten?
So it's totally up to the merchant how much they want to, how much they can spend on Rakuten. But we suggest to spend about 10 to 15% of your monthly sales for marketing. So how we work with merchants is that we ask what kind of marketing budget they have for Rakuten. And then we suggest and propose those marketing promotions and events that will fit your budget. But like once your store is up and running, then our management team will also explain more about marketing and promotions on the platform. For example, if you open your store in October, then we have a super sale event in December. Then we will just explain you more about upcoming events that will be in November and in December. So it also depends on when exactly you open your store and what kind of promotions are will be in the next couple of months. So yeah, it totally depends on the merchants, but the questions is first what amount of sales you would like to have on Rakuten, and the second question, how much of marketing spend, how much of marketing budget you have and you can spend, and then we suggest those promotions that fit your budget.
So, but as you mentioned, that 10 to 15% of
Yes,
monthly sales.
yeah, 10 to 15%, yeah, of your monthly sales is just a normal usage on Rakuten.
Okay. And then from my side, I have a question that, are there any product that you cannot handle with?
Yes, there are some products. The first one would be CBD oil in hemp. So there are a lot of skincare products that include hemp and CBD oil. So we don't work with this kind of companies. Then it's pretty hard to work with perfumes brands.
Perfume.
Perfume, yeah, because in terms of drop shipping, since it includes alcohol, it will be hard to do drop shipping, and then you have to import products into Japan. So it's just a little bit difficult. Also, pharma products. I don't know, some drugs, pills. We don't work with these brands, and some liquid chemicals, maybe sprays or nail polishes. They are prohibited on Rakuten and on any other EC platform.
So those prohibited items on the list of the Rakuten website.
Yes, they have the list of prohibited items there.
Okay. By the way, in your customers, are there any company, the foreign company, who doesn't have a warehouse in Japan? So when there's a sales in Rakuten Ichiba, and then they ship from those foreign country to the directly to the customer. Are there such company you have?
You mean they ship from Japan, or they ship from their company, from their own country?
Yeah, they're from, for example, from Estonia.
So most of the merchants that we work with, they do drop shipping. So it's sports care, sports nutrition, My Protein, that they send from the UK directly. Australian company, South Korean company. So most of the merchants, they actually do drop shipping. So they send directly. Yeah.
So each sales that they make, then they ship from the UK or Australia.
So how it works is that, for example, orders that were made on Monday, we process them the next business days on Tuesday, and then we send these orders data with full information to you, and then you will ship products from your warehouse to the customers. Like, for example, if on Monday there were like 100 of orders, then we will send you this data list on Tuesday, and you will have to send 100 of orders from Estonia to customers. Yeah, and then you provide us with all the tracking numbers so that we can check if parcels, if orders actually reached the customer, that everything is okay, that everyone is satisfied.
Okay, so that's more popular for the foreign companies.
Yes, because it's easier. You don't have to register products. You don't have to translate anything, change labels. You don't have to find a warehouse and importer, because there will be additional fees to that. And it's just easier, and it's just faster. You can open your store and you can start selling right away.
Okay. Okay. Just one more question. For the Japanese consumers, if they like order from the online, they can expect that the next day delivery. Is it not so? Oh, okay.
It's not so. It's not so. No, it's so different from Europe or from the US, when you expect it the next day or maybe the same day. In Japan, like on Rakuten, shipping time is about 7 to 10 business days for overseas brands.
Okay.
Yes, and the good thing is that every company they can set their own rules in terms of shipping time, shipping fee. So, for example, our UK company, My Protein, for them it takes for about like I don't know 2 weeks to get the product. So I would say that 7 to 10 business days is normal shipping time on Rakuten. And also if Japanese customer, if they buy from the overseas company, that they expect that it will take a little bit more of time rather than they buy from the local Japanese company. So as long as you have this on your website saying that shipping fee is 7 to 10 business days, it will cost this much, as long as customers know that, and as long as they can, call our company in terms of like any questions, then everything is good.
Okay. Okay. One question from the attendees. Are you saying that you don't work at all with perfume products? So this the question that came from the person. He has experience sending perfume from Estonia to China by UPS. But it's in the chat column. So it's not about, as I understand, it's not about from Estonia to Japan, but it's more also domestic.
From Estonia to Switzerland.
Sorry, Switzerland.
Switzerland. We can drop from Europe to Japan.
The Switzerland is a little bit, I think, different.
We can drop ship from Europe to Japan. We don't have actually companies that are like in this category, like perfume category. And as far as I know, in terms of drop shipping, it's a little bit harder. But if you have experience drop shipping to Japan, if it's okay, then maybe it's fine. But like honestly, I don't really know like if we had any companies in terms of perfume. And yeah, I think we have to discuss this like individually maybe.
Yeah, I think individually that so that you can discuss with Sophia-san. But yeah, also like I used to work in the logistics in the field. Even that the sending the ink is all by the air is difficult. Yeah? Nowadays, even the sending that some kind of alcohol product, alcohol related product, it's not that easy process. But anyway, yeah, if you have any question, please ask Sophia-san, and then she will be handling that. Okay, since I don't see any more questions, maybe we can move to the next. Okay, so Sophia-san, thank you very much for your presentation, and then thank you very much for your support and joining us.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for inviting me.
I think that after this presentation, you will get a lot of inquiry from the Estonian companies. But,
no problem.
Let me know that if you are in trouble.
We have a big team here, so we can handle all your inquiries.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Okay. Bye-bye. Bye.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much for everyone to joining today. And then now, after Sophia-san, now finally, I will talk about the e-commerce market in Japan, like a general information quickly. So now, as I said before, the e-commerce market in Japan is growing even before COVID-19. This was the obvious, as you can see in the trend. These statistics showed by the Ministry of Economy in Japan. In 2019, that the market size of the e-commerce in Japan was 19 trillion Japanese yen, which is similar to a little bit more than 150 billion euro. 150 billion euro. Yeah. So not only that, this is including the service as well. So not only about the product. And then B2C e-commerce market in Japan also increased every year. So this one is that in last year that around 167 billion euro. Sorry, this 160 billion euro is like here. And this about C2C e-commerce market has been also growing. This one is Mercari is the leading company in Japan, and then Rakuma is like a C2C e-commerce player. In Estonia, this is something that Osta.ee. This is C2C e-commerce market. Yeah, but in Japan it's also growing, and then as you can see, Rakuten here. So another benefit to join the Rakuten platform as well. So about the e-commerce market for good. So what is sold in Japan and what is popular in category. So as you can see that here, the category side and then the growth rate in 2019 versus 2018, and then EC ratio. This EC ratio means that, for example, in book, in video or music software, including that the physical, like offline or online, all the sales, 34% is sold in e-commerce market. So there are some product, consumer electronics and household goods, furniture, interior design, and also office supply stationery. They are really sold well in e-commerce. But it doesn't mean that, for example, food, beverage, alcohol, they are not sold online at all. Even though that the ratio is not that big, but still the market is quite big, as you can see. Later, I can give you this slide, so you don't have to copy it at the moment. And then already today, the Saito-san from Rakuten explained about Rakuten's gross merchandise sales and also number of sellers. As he explained, this 50,000 seller means that the 50,000 companies are selling their product in Rakuten e-platform. And then based on that Nielsen digital consent rating, monthly active user is 51 million. So 51 million users using this Rakuten. And then this one is similar to Amazon. And then the Yahoo is this. The Yahoo became like big three recently because they acquired some other EC platform. Before the Rakuten and Amazon was top 2 in Japan. This one that as you can see that this gross merchandise sales, it's you can see a little bit the difference between Rakuten, Amazon, and Yahoo. So now, how the Japanese people buy that product on e-commerce market? Actually, they buy from the smartphone most of the time. Rakuten, 80%, Amazon, 77%, and then Yahoo Japan is similar. And then those people who use only PC is quite small. Yeah, this one is it's for me also. I don't like using smartphone by something that in online, but in Japan that this is quite common. And then as you know that people traveling and the people are commuting so long time every morning 1 or 2 hours on train, they can watch smartphone and then do shopping. So if you think about the shops in e-commerce, please focus on the smartphone interface. So now, from today's webinars, you understand that the e-commerce platform Rakuten and then the Amazon is similar, but as you heard from the Saito-san, there's a difference between the Amazon and the Rakuten, and Rakuten has strong categories compared to Amazon, and then the user in Rakuten, and then consider that some product you may prefer Rakuten, but some product maybe you prefer Amazon. And then now, set up the store in Rakuten is not the end, or that's not the goal for you. Because making that platform or making store in the Rakuten is not that difficult. That the real challenge will come after that. So how you sell the product in the Rakuten or Amazon platform, and then what kind of challenge you have, and what kind of opportunity waiting for you. So this part, this is more challenging, and then this one is something you have to find out by yourself. Of course, you can get support from Rakuten team, and then, but this is totally in your responsibility, how you approach the customers. And then finally, if you are successful, if you go through here, then you can reach the customers directly. But yeah, again, this part, this challenges, opportunity, this is something that we don't really know. That's why after 2 weeks, November 30th, we will have a next webinar. Speaker is Rasmus Kutt. He is specialist for the e-commerce and omnichannel retail. Rasmus has been in Japan also. He has been in Japan for 5 years, and then he has worked in Rakuten as well. Not in the e-commerce thing, but he was working in some kind of mobile platform. And then he has worked in the Kraft Heinz Japan. Kraft Heinz, as you know, that they make the ketchup and those food products. And then in Japan, he was in charge of e-commerce and then selling that the Kraft Heinz product in Amazon Japan. So on 30th of November, he will explain and he will share the experience, what the opportunity is waiting for you, and then what challenges you have to go through. So if you haven't registered his seminar, please register, and then you can go to the ais.aa and then go to the event. You can register from there. So what I want to ask you today is now that, so until next webinar, please plan that entry plan, make an entry plan for Japan. How much does it cost to open the web shop in Japan? You can ask Sophia-san. You can ask her that how much it will cost, and then depend on the product. She said that the price might be different. And then, of course, it's not that cheap. It's not cheap to enter Japan. And then, but you have to know after you open the store what you have to do. And then all together, you can think about how to enter Japan again. And then, is it worth to enter Japan or not? All right. And then also, please check the EU Japan Center. This is a very useful link that the EU Japan Center, they provide webinars, the different categories. For example, tomorrow, there's an EPA help desk. EPA is a Japan economic partnership, Japan and EU economic partnership agreement that eliminate all the trade tariff. And then they will explain about rules of origin tomorrow. And then Wednesday, they will talk about technical regulation, textile labeling. And then in 24th of November, they will talk about the consumption tax in Japan. So this is a very useful link, and then it's good to listen because Estonia is in EU, so you can get benefit from the EPA. Okay. So thank you very much for joining today's ES webinar. If you have any question, please contact me. Today's presentation will be shared upon your request. So if you have any request, please let me know. Okay, thank you very much. Have a nice day.